Okay, so yeah, we're in section 7.2 today, 7.2, which is based on angles.
What's the code?
Okay, I'll give you here in a second. Angles and angle measure.
Oh.
Okay, and what I'd like you to do is we're going to do a PowerPoint today. So we're going to do that here in a second. And what I'd like you to be in is on nearpod.com. And the code I'd like you to type in, this code will get you into the actual item that we're about to do, which the code is TYOHC. TYOHC. And that'll get you automatically logged in when you type that in the code spot.
Welcome to the session.
Yeah.
Kate Neckelberger, Madeline Hines, Brielle Sneedy, and Hannah Albrecht. Please come to the office.
Wait, what's with the others optional thing? For a joiner session? Or is that other and optional? Under parenthesis optional.
I don't know. Probably. Oh, you can put your name in there and whatnot. So. All right. So we're getting logged in. This is what it should look like, correct?
Yep.
I think you guys are going to like this. I do this a lot for my geometry kids. When we have a lot of vocab words we have to go through, and it's nice that you don't have to see the board if you're sitting 20 feet away. You can actually see my PowerPoint on your desktop, and it'll actually move when I click.
Sweet.
So, and on certain questions that I'll ask you to do something, you can actually answer on your computer, and it shows up on my computer.
So like we could switch you for fun?
Yeah, but you can't do it. So right now I have that turned off right now. So kind of a cool feature. I think you guys are gonna like this. It gives you more little hands-on, more interaction,
Oh yeah.
and you get to see some notes and you get to interact with them a little bit. So kind of fun. We're gonna click through this here. I'm gonna click the lights off. So hopefully you have your notes out here. All right.
Yeah, right here.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Let's see. Okay, we're ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
So, goal today is to do angles and angle measure. So that's kind of our goal. I want to talk about the definition, talk about how they fit with the last stuff we did, points, lines, and planes, and talk about the interactions. Okay. All right. So next thing, and you're going to see this on your Nearpod. It should have moved, right? Now, here's the thing. You guys actually see everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we see that.
You're going to see me click through, and I'll do my normal thing up here. So if you're writing down notes, you can go ahead and write them down.
So if you're clicking up there, we'll stay?
You're going to stay until I click to the next slide. It's kind of nice, so you can copy down notes, and you don't have to wait for me to click it. So, yeah, it's kind of a cool concept. So, but for angles, the definition of an angle, it's formed by the intersection of two rays. Now, we talked about this yesterday. What is a ray? What is a ray? Give it to me. What do you got?
Oh.
A ray. What does it look like?
Isn't it just a line with one arrow at the end?
Perfect. It's a line with one arrow.
No, I can give you the definition for
That's a ray. What we're going to do is we're going to have two of these, and they're going to cross like that. And they meet at the common endpoint. Now, on your slide, it says, what is that common endpoint known as?
vertex.
Vertex. Okay, it's called the vertex. It's right where the two meet. This is the vertex. That's the vertex. These items are the rays. They're the sides of your angle. Okay. Now, when you're actually drawing the angle itself, this is how I normally would look at it. The angle that we're going to actually be focused on is not just, the rays and the vertex, but it's actually this part in here. This is actually the most important piece that we can talk about. That's the angle itself. It doesn't matter how long the rays are, but that's the angle. Okay? Now, what we're going to look at is how to name them. How to name or do notation for angles. Okay, so we're going to do an example or two of naming an angle on this. Okay, so let me give you an example here. So here's my example. So if we're gonna draw an angle, typically what the book does, they do something like this. They have this big angle, and they have a bunch of letters on it like this. Let's call this A, B, and C. Okay, not to be real creative. But that's, they can have other points like that. The most important letter up here is the first letter, not the first letter that I wrote, but the letter in the middle, the vertex. So which letter up here is the vertex?
B.
B. That's the vertex, right? It's where the two rays meet. That's actually the most important letter of an angle. So when you name an angle, you could just call it like this. You can say angle B. It's right where the vertex is, right where the little wedge is. You could call it the three letters. So if you notice that there's three letters on there, when you write that, you write angle ABC. B has to be the middle letter. So you can actually switch the letters around, and you can write it like this. Angle CBA. But B has to be the middle letter. Wherever the vertex is, the point where it wedge meets, has to be the middle letter of those items. Now, I know this gets boring. You're writing down angle every time. The book says you can do this. You can draw a mock picture and then put the letters after it. So you can draw like a mock picture what the angle looks like and put it out front. These are all the same thing to me. Sometimes the book even puts numbers in here. Calls this angle number 1. They'll put digits in there. They could put Greek letters. Have you guys ever seen the Greek letters before? Greek alphabet? I bet you haven't almost. Instead of calling this, angle number 1, there are certain Greek letters that we use in geometry class, which are these. Theta, theta, beta, alpha, like there's different letters we can do here. Okay, questions, comments about what I've done here?
Nope.
Okay, all right, last thing on this slide was what we call standard position. Okay, standard position is a way of drawing an angle so that everyone in this room draws the exact same picture. Okay, and I know that's really weird because if I told you to draw an angle right now, everyone would draw any random type of angle, but they would not all look the same. So what standard position is, it's this goofy way that we've learned to teach a student how to draw an angle so that both of you will actually draw the exact same picture. Okay? And that's what we're going to focus on today, like actually drawing. Kind of cool concepts. Okay? We good so far?
Like, on your book, can you do it on there?
Yeah, we can actually draw on it. So, kind of cool concepts. So, we ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so we're going to do a standard position problem. So here's what I'd like you to do. Okay, on the following problem, so it should switch you over.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
you have a big picture of an angle, correct?
Right.
It's really big. All right, so now, in the upper left corner, there's a blue button.
Yep.
Okay, if you click the blue button, it will show you what the directions are. So it'll say, okay, hey, for the following item, name the angle. Okay, so on that actual picture, I want you to draw, or you can use a text box, I want you to name the triangle and actually write it right on the screen. So like when, I'll do an example of mine. My example I did earlier, I had, this is my picture that I had.
Good, you go.
Okay, and mine was ABC. There was a couple different names I can call mine. I could call mine angle B, I can call mine angle ABC. Like these are different names you could use. I want you to name yours and then click the submit button once you have it written in there. Again, you're gonna use your little trackpad and you're gonna actually draw on that item and actually name it like this. This is what I'm expecting to see.
Which is the eraser?
These things. Yep, I think they have an undo button.
No, they have an eraser.
Do they?
Is it right there?
Yep.
So you can erase what you did. You can even use text boxes if you don't like to draw, because like let's say your penmanship's really bad. You can just open up a text box and just type it with a keyboard, so you don't have to actually write. I think a lot of people like to draw it. It's kind of fun.
That's the fun part about it.
Yeah, I agree. So you have your angle. I want you to name it. So this is what I'm looking for. Something like this. Either one would work, but I want to do it for yours.
Oh, you can add images in here. do we?
Yeah, so you'll click submit here in a second, and then I want to see what your name of your angle is. Okay? Okay, good. Got it from Sam.
Uh-huh.
Or Sammy boy, I guess. Sure. To name his. Now, here's the cool part, what I can show you here in a second. And I can confirm, Sam, you got it right. You have it right so far. So I can share it with you here in a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
hold on.
Your drawing has been submitted.
And just click on edit drawing again and then you'll be back at the thing.
Okay, we're good? All right, so here's the cool part. Look at this.
Alright.
Okay, here's one. That's Sam's. Appearing right on your screen, so you can actually see it. We can actually compare answers. So, his is correct. Angle Q, right? Because that Q is the middle letter. Okay, now, just to show you the other one, to show you Eric's. Eric, you are also correct. And you wrote yours differently. Eric used 3 letters. The big thing was, Eric, what letter did you have to make sure was in the middle?
Q.
Q, because Q is the most important letter.
I like
Okay.
the little addition.
All right.
I know.
Yeah, little Hayward. Yeah, so. All right. Okay. All right. We're good. All right. Let's go to the next part here. So now we're going to start drawing angles. Okay. So this is the part you're about to see up here. Okay. All right. When you draw angles, we want to draw them with 2 rays. Okay. And the rays have names. They're called the initial side and the terminal side.
X-axis.
Okay. Yep. X-axis and Y-axis, right? Well, not Y-axis, but any other side. The thing is, I want to explain how this works so that both of you will always draw the same angle when I ask you to today, because I'm going to ask you to draw an angle at some point today. Okay? And then we're going to use the vertex is on the origin. And again, I'm going to explain these terms here in a little bit. Now, this is so that we draw the same exact picture. To do that, we have to use what they call the Cartesian coordinate system. This system is super, super, super old. In fact, this system, just to give you a sense for how old this is, okay? Okay? Hey, just to give you a sense for how old this is older than the United States itself, okay? So this system is older than the US as a country.
Holy crap.
So it's an old system and it's used in everything. Your computers technically use this system. Your cell phones use this system. Video games, everything uses it. It's kind of a cool system. So we're going to talk about today. This is what it looks like. This is the picture. Now you're thinking, Ward, I don't see that on my computer. The screens that you use, that you touch, use that system to put the pictures on the screen itself. So that they know exactly where it's going to go and so it snaps to grid. Okay? It's kind of a cool concept. In fact, if you actually come up here to my marker board, you can actually see it in the background. Come on up. Take a look at this. So this is the big picture, right? This is what what the grid system looks like.
Yep.
But if you have really good vision, I want you to come up right up on the board and actually look within just a few
I can
millimeters
already
of
see
the
it from
board.
standing right here.
You can start to see it. The system, all these little boxes, is this system just blown up, like really, really small. Every computer system uses it. Your screens and your phones and your Chromebooks use this system. It's just taking this thing and making it way smaller, way more pixels, so everything looks more smooth. It's kind of a cool concept.
Right there.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
All right, now, yeah, once you see it, you can't unsee it. But the big thing is understanding how it works. So the idea is that there's this thing called the x-axis and y-axis, 2 objects. In fact, I'm going to give you a piece of paper that has them on there. Okay? All right, here's your piece of paper that I want you to look at. All right, here's your piece of paper that has the grid system on it.
When you gonna get right now when you go home?
No. All right. Okay, so now,
That's it now.
okay, on your paper here in a second, I'm going to ask you to draw some stuff by hand. We're going to draw on the Chromebooks as well, but I want you to learn how to do this by hand as well. Okay? we're gonna use the X and Y axis. Now, these systems are right here. So if you're looking up here, this is the X axis. This line right here is labeled with an X. It's the big dark line. And then the Y axis is going up and down. This is something you're gonna get very, very familiar with when you go to Algebra 1. They use this for a couple weeks.
Now, who's that with?
Okay.
Done?
What?
Who's
That would be with Weisenstein. Yep, so Mrs. Weisenstein. All right, but this system, how it works, okay? We're gonna draw right on this thing. So here's what I like to do. Take your pencil. Take your pencil, okay? Everyone's got one?
No, say nothing.
Okay? Question? Okay, perfect. All right. Put a dot right where the crosshairs meet in the middle.
In everyone?
Just one, just pick one box. We're gonna do it in one box for right now. Okay, I want you to put a dot right on the crosshair. I would like you to draw your first ray going towards the X. Draw a ray going towards the X like that. You can make it as long as you want, I don't really care. You can go all the way to X, you can go halfway, I don't really mind. Okay, that is called the initial side. In fact, I want you to write that word right next to it. I don't know where you stopped, but the word initial side. Like that. I don't care how you do it. The initial side. The initial side, by the way, if you don't know the spelling, it's right here. It's on your near pod right in front of you. Okay. The initial side is always right along the x-axis. It's going to the right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to open up counterclockwise. We're going to open up like this. We're going to open up this direction. And what I like you to do is you can go anywhere you want. You can start here, open up anywhere you want. You can stop, and I want you to draw another ray. Stop wherever you want. I'm going to do mine right here. That looks good. And draw another ray coming from that same center dot. And you can put it anywhere you want as long as you start at the dot and you draw it straight from there. Okay, I'm going to walk around the room. I'm going to see how your angles look. And again, you can draw any angle you want. Just draw another ray coming off of that dot, but going anywhere else other than to the right. Nice. Okay, good. Yeah. So you guys did pretty much like mine. So yeah. So angle. So when you draw this, and you have that line going this way. You want to draw a line from here going somewhere else. Okay, like that. Okay. Good. Okay. Perfect. What you guys just experienced is how to draw an angle, this angle, right? Whatever your angle looks like. I think both of you drew about the same looking angle. But we're going to do this from now on. Anytime I ask you to draw an angle in this class, here's how you're going to start. Even if you have the grid paper or not, you're going to do this. You're going to draw a line horizontal like it's going along the X. You're going to open up counterclockwise, and you're going to finish the other wall. Does that make sense now? Mm-hmm. That way you always have a flat wall against you, and you always have a wall opening up counterclockwise. But again, the big thing was, are you hitting the origin? Now, the origin, by the way, is the crosshair. In fact, on this picture, we still have to label. I want you to label this spot right here, right where your dot was. I would like you to label that the origin. Or the vertex.
Can't we do?
So I want you to label that where the dot was. So label the dot with origin or vertex. And then the last line that you just drew, that one that came off it that you put kind of anywhere you want, that is called the terminal side. It's called the terminal side. It's where you ended. And again, all these words are up here, by the way. They're all up here, so I'm not making them up. They're actually on your slide, so you kind of know where to put them. All right, now, last word on your Nearpod is the word quadrants, correct? On this picture, there is 4 quadrants, 4 major boxes. Okay, the first box is right here. So on your paper, on your piece of paper, I'd like you to label this with a Roman numeral, the number 1. It looks like an I. So in that upper corner, put a Roman numeral I in that corner, that top box where we drew our angle. That is the first quadrant. The second quadrant is over here. I know this seems weird, we're going counterclockwise. Third quadrant is down here. Third quadrant is with 3 I's, basically. And then fourth is that bottom corner, it's an I with a V behind it. V means 5 in Roman numeral, so it's 1 before 5. I before V. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sense? These are your quadrants. From now on, in algebra, algebra 2, geometry, pre-calc, calc, whatever class you're going to take, these are the quadrants we're going to ask you to label. So we'll do that a lot when we start going on to those other grids. We'll start labeling 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s and all that good stuff. Okay, are we good so far?
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Now, I know this gets it's getting a little, tedious. We got a lot of words, right? We're going to get to the drawing here in a minute. I want to start drawing and doing some other stuff, especially on the Nearpod. There, but are we good with this stuff though?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Next. All right. Next. We're going to deal with the classifications of angles.
Okay, what's
How you actually classify, not the name of an angle like ABC or PQR, whatever it was. I'm talking about the different classifications. There is 5 angles that people don't know about.
right?
First one is called an acute
Obtuse.
angle. Okay? Now, on your Nearpod, what is an acute angle?
Less than 90.
Less than 90. Less than 90, right? This picture is less than 90. The picture we just happen to have drawn.
Wow. Okay.
So, that is an angle that is less than 90. Okay. All right, Connor, you need to get logged into nearpod.com on your Chromebook.
So what?
Nearpod, Nearpod.com. And then this is the code you're going to type in on the top of the bar.
Here.
It's going to ask for code TYOHC. It'll get you logged into right what we're doing right now.
Oh, I figured out where you can show the code on this. It's that black arrow up in this corner.
So TYOHC. Why don't you get logged into Nearpod? And it should take you right to this slide that we're on right now.
Should.
Should.
I can't do anything. Ms.
Oh.
Schmidt still has the uh-oh thing on here.
You still got logged in. All right, that's fine. You can just watch. Because everything we're going to do right now is logged in. Probably a normal
Oh,
day.
never mind.
Oh, okay, good. All right.
Just load.
So, acute angles are anything less than 90. This angle right here is less than 90 degrees. Okay, now, I saw, Eric, you were doing something earlier.
Sign in.
Yeah, so you just use the code. You don't need to actually click sign in. Just use the little code bubble, and this is your code you're going to type in. TYOHC.
C.
H.
Yeah.
C.
That isn't where it's all coming from, Spencer.
And it should take you right to this slide, correct? That you're on? Now you're going to see the entire slide that I'm showing. It won't just be the part that's on the board because I'm using a PowerPoint up here. But you're seeing everything. So if you're writing down notes, you don't have to wait for me to click. Okay. Now, Eric, you were doing something earlier. What is a right angle? What's a-
90 exactly.
90 exactly, right? But you were doing it with your hands. What was a right angle?
Straight up with your hand.
Yeah, straight up basically. This is a right angle. That's a right angle. They draw an actual L shape with your hands. Okay, now there's a couple different words for right angles. And this is something that's not on your Nearpod. Sometimes they call this word perpendicular. Perpendicular means things that hit at 90-degree angles, like an L shape. It could use the word flush. I know they use that in drafting and carpentry. They could use the word square. All these things are squared. Okay. They could use if you're in a college level class, they could use the word orthogonal. Orthogonal, which is kind of a cool word, but it means all 90 degrees. They're just trying to be all fancy. Okay, or right angles. Okay. All right. Do you feel comfortable with right angles?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's 90 degrees. Hopefully you're seeing these pictures I'm drawing on the board so you kind of know.
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's move on. The next word is called an obtuse angle. Obtuse. Obtuse is greater than 90, but less than 180. So if you're bigger than 90 degrees, bigger than straight up and down, right? Then you're in this territory like this. This is obtuse. That's an obtuse angle. Okay, it's past 90 degrees. It's past the L shape. It's not small, but it's big. How I remember this? Acute, I think of small, like acute puppy. They're small. So that's how I remember it. Smaller than 90. Right? It's a right angle, right? So it's almost like the R. It has a right angle at the very top. And then obtuse, I think of the word obese. Big, obese, obtuse. They start with the same two letters. All right, next word on your slide is straight angle. And I think Connor, you actually said this word yesterday.
What?
You said a straight line. That was one of your options. You weren't technically wrong. A straight line is an angle, but it's not the type of line. It's the angle itself. Straight angle is when you're exactly 180. This is a straight angle. It's when you draw a straight line. So technically you weren't wrong. But the problem is when you say the word straight, I'm actually talking about the angle right here. That's what a lot of people always get that confused. Okay, it's exactly 180. It's straight across, straight up and down. We're going to talk about that one probably more tomorrow. Okay, and the last one here, the last one is called a reflex angle. This is anytime you're past 180, you're past straight. A reflex, the key word there, reflex, is reflexes, right? Your body has a natural reflexes in it. Gentlemen, I like you to hold your arms straight out in front of you. Okay? Hold your arms straight out. Boom. Okay. Can anyone, do you have the abilities where you can, go past straight? Does some people have that? Doesn't look like you guys got too much muscle structure. So there's some people that are super, super flexible that they can
bend their arm.
They can bend their arm a little bit past that. Because for guys, normally guys can't do it. We have too much muscle structure in the arm, you're just not allowed to. Okay? The problem is there is some gentlemen, some girls that can actually go past straight. And for you gentlemen, you guys can't, right? If your arm were to do that, it's called a hyperextension. You tear the ligaments and you tear muscles and stuff. But what would happen, your body would reflex and pull it back in and cradle it. Because it would hurt really, really bad. And so the idea is that the reflex is anytime you go past straight. Most people can't go past straight. Okay, not by normal standards. Okay. All right, now, here's a good one. Here's a good example. I'd like you to hold up your thumb, make a thumbs up gesture. Okay, good. We have two examples. We have two people that can only hold them straight. I can go past straight.
Yeah.
Connor can go past straight. We have that same. Okay, I believe they call it the hitchhiker's thumb.
It's hitchhiker's
Yeah,
thumb.
but
It starts to hurt after a while.
yeah, we have the ability that our thumbs can flex past straight. Okay, it's a body's natural reaction. Some people's can, some people's can't. It just depends on how flexible you are. It's actually genetic. It's very weird that your parents could be able to do it if you can. Okay? All right. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna start measuring angles. So what I mean by measuring angles, it's using a tool to figure out the size of angles, and that's what we're gonna look at tomorrow. Okay, is there any questions on the types today? Tomorrow we're gonna look at more drawing, and we're gonna look at measuring angles. Does that make sense? Okay, we're done for the day. I'm gonna turn off the camera and all that good stuff. So, you can put your Chromebooks away, and we are done for the day.